G'day everybody. Good afternoon. Actually, just hit afternoon. Welcome to another new week with another scan sponsored by FTX and of course TRADERCOBB. You can have your FTX account opened with 10% off your trading fees in the description below, and get across and get a hold of the Become a Trader course. Get yourself started. It's absolutely free. Then you can go on to Become a Master and learn these strategies. Good day to you all and welcome. All right, so I hope you had a great weekend. It was a great one for me, actually. Really good to get outdoors and have my daughter's birthday as well. Very fun times. G'day Ray, and to all of you out there, please, if you're watching this, do like, share, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you know when we do go live. So, good day. Right, now I spoke of this briefly. I'm not sorry, I shouldn't say this briefly. I spoke of it a lot in the podcast, as well as to my community and whatnot in Discord. Now we've moved from Slack to Discord. Yeah, there you go. And look, last week, the week before, we saw the big sell-off on the Friday. Last week, I was sort of saying that it looks like we were kind of building into maybe doing the same again, and it did eventuate to be a sell-off Friday. Only 6% this time, whereas the Friday before was 10%. And we've come off again quite heavily on the Friday, and the selling did continue over the weekend with the candle this morning closing at 10 a.m. down 2.4 or just about 2.4% down. So we've definitely got trend now. We've got momentum to the downside. We've got ourselves a daily downtrend. There's a pullback into here, and we've fallen from there. Now, what I will also bring to your attention is this. When we'd fallen and we started to claw back, I was sort of talking of it, the realities of the weekly doing exactly this, getting back to the cradle zone. It took a long time to do it. There was no immediate fast relief rally. There was no big bounces like we had back in January with some roaring weeks. It was very, very subdued, and all that led to, for me, was the potential for the downside momentum to continue. The enthusiasm for buying, it wasn't there, as was witnessed and spoken of numerous occasions, the very weak uptrend that that unfolded from that point on. And obviously, since that high that we reached back earlier in the month, we have come off a further 20-odd%. So it's not looking rosy. Excuse me. For the perma bulls, it's definitely a trend to the downside. Now, second thing to note as well is this weekly candle. Yes, last week did close down significantly. Mostly all that selling was done or put together for that weekly on that Friday, being down 10%. Interestingly, the low of last week of 20,760 was taken out as well. And now Bitcoin is well below $20,000. So it does look very bearish indeed. We do not have a weekly downtrend. We have a high to a low. This could potentially be our lower high. Now we've got two scenarios that could unfold here. Excuse me. I got something stuck in my throat. Two scenarios that could unfold here is that, this may end up being a high or low. Who knows? The other scenario for which looks likely at the moment, just because of the momentum that we've got to that downward pressure, is that we continue to drive lower and we set new lows. Now, whilst I do not have a magic wand at all, the momentum is definitely there with the bears. And if I show you this monthly chart yet again, you'll see there is a clear lower high. So the monthly is in a downtrend. So far, the month of August is down nearly 16%. So with all of this bearish sentiment and bearish activity, what have we got out there in our market? Well, sadly, actually, I shouldn't say sadly. It was sadly this morning, but it sold off further from my first scan of the day. We've got a little bit of not much. Here was last week, but boof, that was it. There's no cyclicity at this stage on the 4-hour, which is a time frame that you all know that I like to trade from and use as a bit of a, my daily is my major one. Then I go to the 4-hour to open up the lower time frame trends. Oh, and just while I'm at it, before I forget, guys, for anyone who has joined up, whether you did the course in person, like when I traveled around the country or anywhere in the world, or you paid for the course, it could be years ago when we first started the business 5 years ago. No matter what, if you've done it and you've paid for it, you have access to go back and watch that course again. Yes, it's a lifetime membership. So whatever TRADERCOBB is TRADERCOBB. you have access to log back in and view that course. Because I wanted to clear that up, as I have spoken to a couple of people that are like, oh, I haven't been doing it, I haven't done anything for a while, and I don't want to pay for it again. I'm like, you don't need to pay for it again. It's a lifetime membership. And it also gets you access to our Discord group, which you'll be seeing some emails coming out shortly about rejoining that group and whatnot if you haven't already. So just keep your eyes out in your inbox, check your junk mail folders, and be aware that you can just log back in, and if you've forgotten your password, follow it on the TRADERCOBB website, or approach your email or use a chat box on the website, and we'll help you get back in, because there's no time like the present to be learning to trade. Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, let's have a look at what we got as we go lower. As I spoke of before, there's not that much cyclicity. The 1 hour isn't as bad. However, we do have a high to low, so there's no really strong downtrend currently situated on Bitcoin. The 30-minute does have a lower high and lower low, but again, it is not looking real healthy, especially with the potential higher low there. I was watching this support this morning. Of course, price went straight through that in two big candles on that 30-minute chart. So for me, Bitcoin right now, there ain't much going on at all. Let's go straight into our perp list. I suspect that what I'll be looking for here is going to be lower time frames. All right, I'll be looking at the lower time frames simply because, as you can see with Bitcoin, we don't have great cyclicity on the 4, given that Friday, after a very slow week of grinding, sold off heavily and in one fell swoop. So I'm going to be focusing here on the 1 hour on this higher chart. Okay, on the upper chart, it will be the 1 hour, because I know after doing a scan this morning at 9, there wasn't a great deal of 4-hour trends that are going to be worthy. So to save me from flipping through all the different time frames, I'm going to stick the 1 up here, and my first objective is really to be looking for trends that exist. There are 3 tests of support right there, but there is no trend on the 1 hour. Let's check the 30. Does it have one? Maybe the 15. It's starting to get higher low territory. I'll be leaving that alone. Looking for cradles only in here. We've got a 1 hour chart now on Cardano. What's it look like on the daily? Yeah, not so great. There is a lower high 1, lower high 2. There is a downtrend. There's no doubt about it. It's not the greatest though, is it? It's not. It certainly isn't. It's not making me all that happy. There's not much there. I'm going to leave Cardano for the time being, I think. Yeah, because there's a bit of a region down here that might hold. I'm going to leave Cardano. I think we might be able to find some better options, hopefully, anyway. Adventure Gold. Now, this is a trend that's stepping down quite nicely. Probably looks better on the 2. Yep, there it is. Lower high, moving lower. Let's have a look at how much liquidity this thing has. Ooh, not a great deal. However, I'm going to start a blue list with this one. All right. That's not you need for that to be. Actually, I'm going to change the color because I got that notice for a reason. Go green. We'll go green. If it pulls back into here, look, I know it's low on the liquidity side of things, but it might just it might set up, and if it does come to that, I'll check the numbers on the FTX platform to see if it works for me to get my fill. Algo, not much happening there. Of course, it has come off quite significantly. Alice, again, what I'm looking for is a lower high to lower low. Then I can look for pullbacks for the next short move. So if there's anything that's not got a 1 hour trend that's sort of dignified, as in with lower highs and lower lows, just like here on Arweave, if it's not got something like this where there's a lower high and lower low, I will be leaving it alone. Okay, so it's a bit grindy through here, but as you can see, it does cycle through quite well. Look at that. Beautiful pullback move. I know it went above it, but grind. Now we've got this pullback move. So it opens it up now for a possible cradle. We're looking at this low to this low, so we're convergent on there. The 4 doesn't matter so much. It's convergent anyway. Probably not so much the 30, but the 1 hour, if it does sit, say, in 1050 or so, I might be keen on that. So I'm going to put that in the list. That big dip that we had this morning, right around the, that 10 a.m. time frame, just before it, it's actually helped us to the short side. It's helped us in the sense that we do have this nice extended leg down now. So we've actually got the opportunity, or the potential for the opportunity of a cradle in that zone. Let's check that too. Yeah, it's all right. It's not great, but it is there. Look, I'll pop that in. If it start, I'll go through at the end as I always do to check the whole watch list. If it's no good, or if it doesn't look quite as good, or there's better options available or whatever, I'll slim it out at that stage. Avalanche, I'll go to the 30. Again, just a sort of a straight line. I'm not as interested in that straight line. I like it when there's a bit of a bouncing ball. I'm going to leave AVAX. Lower highs and lower lows is what we're after here. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I'll check that too. No, the 2 doesn't really build into that being a good downtrend, and it tends to be a little bit thin, I have found. Although not too bad now. But I'm going to leave a bit tight. Okay, Binance is holding its ground. I'm going to leave it for now. Not big enough move there on BNT. That's too thin for me. Cake. Trying. No good. Okay. It's not going to work on the 1 because we go high to low. So that's going to cut that out. Yeah, I can leave that. It ain't much good. Celsius, look at how wild this thing's been. I mean, it went up a huge amount. Then it's fallen all the way back down about 80-odd%. It's had its own little bear market in the last 3 weeks, really. And then, of course, yesterday up 27%. It's just very volatile up and down. I'm sure people are making money on it because when we get cyclicity through here, like over here, there is money to be made. It's just we've got to wait for that cyclicity. We don't have it at the moment, so I'll be leaving it. Yeah, it's not really trending all that well on Chromium. Again, just trying to keep it really simple. We're only looking for cradles here. Real simple plays, really clean trends is really the first port of call. Yeah, as always, I haven't changed anything that I've done since I brought these strategies to the market, really. I mean, it's what I've been doing for nearly 18 years now. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. I started trading 18 years ago. I've been using these for the best part of 14, 15 years. Don't need to change them. They just work. You just got to be patient. You got to work on you. It's us as humans that are the ones that we typically have to work on ourselves. Not so much the strategy. When you change things that give you an edge, you can take that edge away. DYDX. I'm not a huge fan of the way it's been chopping. It's fairly choppy. Then it's had this big dump. I'm going to leave that one for now. Eden is very thin. ENS. Ooh. I spoke of this morning. A little lower high here. Driving lower. Let's check that 2 hour. We've got a downtrend there on the 1. Well, look, bigger picture. That's our pullback. Then when we fall, I'm not liking the way that this chart structure looks, though, because if this is our low and this is our lower high, we are very divergent. So I will be leaving that alone for now. I will go lower to the 30. Tell you, it doesn't look as bad in the 30 with the 1 hour backing it up, but I just want a little bit more. Like if you look at this, there is some support there. That would be, for me, I would look at that and go, okay, well, perhaps I'll take a trade from there, and perhaps I will. But it's going to need to get back up there relatively quickly. Otherwise, the moving averages are going to stay down and we'll be outside of the zone. I will pop it in for now, though. In the case that it does come up to this level and give a little bearish candle, I want to be aware of it. Whether or not it's tradable or not, the reason I'm not able to look at it on the 1 hour, which would be perfect into here, is just simply because the 2 hour trend, it's not clear enough. That's really not, it's not, for me, this is the move. Down to the low, up to the lower high, down to the low. So we're divergent on that. So that's why I can't look at it on the 1 hour for a trade, but I can on the 30. Ooh, EOS. Well, there's definitely a 2 hour downtrend. We are convergent, so that does open up the door for the 1. Where would I want it? Somewhere back into there. Okay. Something like around there. Right, I'm going to throw in a fib and just see if I've got an extra confirmation there. Not really, it's right in the middle. Okay, well, I'll put that in. The only thing with EOS, and this is the big thing with EOS, right, is that Look, it's been a wild trend, but there is a higher low, higher high, higher low just, but a higher high, and it's pulling back again. It's not in the cradle zone, but it is in a daily uptrend. So for those of you that decide that you only trade in the direction of the daily trend, then EOS wouldn't be something that you would look for a short on now, would it now? Would it now? 30 is not quite clear enough there for me on Ethereum Classic. What about Ethereum? Well, let's have a look at Ethereum here on a number of different time frames. We've got a lower high and a lower low. The daily is well and truly in a downtrend now. With Ethereum itself, the week before was down 16%. Last week was down another 11%. It's broken the low of that candle. Look where that weekly candle was, right there in that cradle zone. It doesn't matter what time frame. It doesn't matter what time frame. When you understand how to use these strategies, they will work on any time frame that you have a trend on. Now, again, I don't have a trend here because we go higher low to high, then low. However, it's pulled back into that area. It's now below what was that resistance level for a long time, and it doesn't look real pretty here. Still got a long way to go before it hits those lows, unlike Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have as far to travel, but a potential for a higher low. Right now, though, I'll be mad if I was thinking about, saying, oh, it's going to go higher from here. It may do, but there's nothing on the chart that's really backing that up. The 2 hour, nothing there because we just, there's not enough trend there to call that convergent. So we'll be leaving that on the 1, the 30, not good enough. We move on. Nothing there to short Ethereum at this stage. If we do see more cyclicity, just down, in, down, in, down. I'll be looking at those lower time frames, and because I am looking at the lower time frames, things can transform pretty quickly. A lot of opportunities can pop up in a very short space of time, but we need the trend first. Flow. Yeah, I think the 2 is going to make that look a bit. How you doing? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that with divergence down there. When I say divergence down there, what I mean is when we look at this low to this low, we're as price is making new lows, the MACD is not, and that is divergent because they're like going opposite directions. I talk a lot about that on the course too. It's an important element and a place that people often do get confused, but you need not get confused. You just got to have it understood and explained in a certain way. A lot of places, they just overcomplicate things. Textbook reading as opposed to knowledge. Big difference. Okay, let's keep moving through. Moonbeam. Moonbeam. Okay, let's have a couple of things to note here. Moonbeam, broken support, that build up into there, whooshka, straight down and through we went, and it has continued. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's achieving all-time lows. G'day, Corky. Let's have a look now. We come back to this 30-minute. And while it's not the greatest, most beautiful trend, there is a lower high and there is a lower low, and it is convergent. And the 1 hour also confirms that, right? We've got a downtrend, this low to low, we're convergent on that. So now it's a matter of, would I be interested if I did get what I wanted, and what do I want? What is it that I would like to see happen here? Well, you can see a bit of a support region through there. I don't think I can take it on the 1. Very ugly there. I'm umming and ahhing on that, and generally when I am and ah on something, if it's not clear, it's not there. Going past GMT, going past GRT, that's too thin. That's a bit of a mess there on Hedera, banging all over the place. Not interested at all. I'm looking for those trends that form and are solid. What's that level? Oh yeah, well, it's definitely support, but I'm not interested in playing that game. Horby, nope. ICX, nothing there. We're looking for these downtrends. Do we have more? I'm sure we will. Clean downtrend. Looking for cradle trades here. Yeah. Kilo bit. Yeah, there's some support. It's just a messy looking chart, to be honest with you. Koiba. Again, it's just not pretty, is it? There's nothing spectacular about that, I will say. 15, not too bad, but not good at all. Again, one of the hardest things when you're trading is to be comfortable doing nothing. There's a lot of people out there that want to be trading often, and that's fine. If they want to be trading often, go for it. But for me, trading is not about how often you do it. It's about making sure that you continue to do it and you can get an income from it. And if you're always looking to trade, your focus will be on taking trades as opposed to taking the right trades at the right time when the market suggests for you to do so. It takes a little bit of time to get your head around, but it's important. That's a mess on Litecoin, just sort of mashing all over the place. A lot of these very slow week last week and then the very sudden drop. Same with here with Matic. Look, we go, okay, and then woof, yes, we're down. But with any cyclicity, absolutely none at all. Let me just check one thing here. Oh, it's not really a precise level, is it? No, I can leave that. If it legs down again, sure, but it's not there yet, so no. Okay. Not a lot here. A lot of them are just sort of moved higher than dip, so we don't have that really good cyclicity. A little bit there on OKB. But again, I'd be lying if I was to say that, I'm not just looking for a little bearish candle in here with a trend, so that therefore I can take a trade. This is what I'm getting at before about taking good trades. I'm looking for trades that are going to give me the probability for me, the high enough probability for me to willingly take some risk. At the moment, the market is a little bit wishy-washy. Yes, we are having sell-offs, but we're not having prolonged sell-offs. We're having like a Friday sell-off, then mess, then sell-off, then mess. And we've been getting that. And it's been really about focusing in on the better looking trends where you do feel confident to raise the order, because there's nothing worse than raising an order on something that you're not willing. Like you go, oh, if it goes well, I'm going to be happy. If it doesn't go well, I'm not going to be happy. That's a really bad way to trade, because your outcome focused for your mood and your mental health and where you are and your strength as a trader. You need to be taking trades that you stand beside and say, well, if it costs me, that's okay, because it's a trade that I'm willing to take in this moment. And we're just not getting a huge amount of those at the moment. As I've said 1,000 times, things can change very, very quickly though. Especially working with the lower time. I don't think this is going to work for me. This would be a level that if we do push down from here, maybe a pullback in. But at this stage, we are not there yet. Prometheus. No, I'll leave that. Pundi's just falling without any cyclicity. Same with Qtum. Ray's got no trend. That's a mess. Ren, also a bit of a mess. Ron, Rose, no. Thorchain. Let's go back to this on the 30. Yeah, I know. It's just not clear enough. Again, look, all this sideways rattiness, then a boof. I need more than that. I need to have more than that. I want to have something that I can really follow. It's very hard to follow a market that's going sideways. The best thing to do when the market is going sideways as a trader is to stay out of it and find the trends. Wait for your trends to come back. There's a time where we can make money, and there are times where it's, dare I say it, it's rather straightforward to make money. And it's when we've got good, strong trends. We don't have many of those at the moment, apart from the higher time frames. But again, the trend is not strong on those higher time frames like the daily, because the daily trends have only just started to go back into being downtrends. But those of you who are still around and still putting the work in, this is going to teach you an enormous amount. Going through these periods in time makes you a much more profitable trader when the trends do come back, because you exercise power and control over your actions, and it makes it a lot easier. Tomo, no, again, the leg down here, it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something much more betterer. Toncoin, the only option for Toncoin really, and you could have been in Saturday, is an upward momentum trade, a cradle there. But it's a very messy, look at these like it's very erratic, and I believe, not that it would matter so much on the daily, but it's a little bit thin looking in it. I'm going to leave it. True can be left behind. Tron. Bit of a shame. Look at this break. Was talking about that level last week. It did break very, very nicely, and there was, in fact, on the 4 hour, an option there for a cradle short. That was yesterday, where you'd have your profit, or have some profit at least. Let's have a look lower. Again, you know, we go sideways, then we fall hard. I'm not looking for a cradle in here. I'm looking for something with a little bit more structure. Missing that, Tron, missing it. Too thin, uni-perp. I'll check the 30. Not much there. Uniswap, yep, looks like it's got a support right through there. More than likely it's because it is super thinly traded at the moment. Look at that. That's what that's telling me. There ain't much volume going through Uniswap index right now. So it will not be taking my volume. Not from a margin point of view, not from a trading point of view anyway. Monero. It's moving, but there's no real trend that's worthwhile. Ooh. XRP was another one that broke down through a support level. Look at how slow it was before that break. You know, this was Friday. Well, sorry, Thursday, Friday, then the fall later, sorry, in the morning on the Friday. Just see if there's anything there that would warrant a trade. Not at this stage. Look, if it did slowly start to swing its way back up into here, then I might be convinced later. But it's not there yet. It's not going to go into a watch list. It is going to be left. What was it down yesterday? 3.75. Let's check the 30-minute here on Yearn. Not much to work with there either. And back to BTC, which is up nearly 1%. Now, here's the thing. What are we going to do when we hit 19.8? Because that's going to make a big, you know, it's going to play a big part in what we trade, or what is available for trading today. We come up into here, we get a small bearish candle. It's not going to really be a short option for me. I mean, sure, you do whatever you do. But for me, I don't have enough really to work with there. However, if we do hit that and then push to new lows, like get the trend really starting to swing, and we're down another couple of percent, let's say, or 3 or 4%, then we're going to have a real trend, because we'll have a pullback into here. We'll have another leg down, which will offer us a lower high and then a lower low, opening us up then to look for opportunities to the downside. But enough about that for now. We go back to our list and have a look at our trend list. Now, we do have some trends. Out of that whole perp list, we do have some trends. Adventure Gold, if it pulls back up into this cradle zone, yep, that could be worthwhile. If we go to Arweave, we have a downtrend, a small bearish candle around 1050, setting up later on this afternoon. That could be worthwhile. Atom, we've got a lower high and a lower low, a little pullback in and a little bearish candle, and now we're starting to have some opportunity onto an ENS. Support right here. This actually doesn't look too bad at all on the 1 hour. Let me just double check that too. Was it the 30? Yeah, the 30 still, that's right, it was a 30. I'm looking at this to see if it does come into here, a bearish candle around that cradle zone. It was on the 30 because the 2 didn't look great, but the 1 hour does have the trend there, which would fit the rules. So 30-minute Ethereum name service potential. Again, we do have to wait. Same with EOS. You know, I'll pull back into here on this 1 hour. We are going to have to wait. But it is there. Every single market, right, or every single thing in the watch list is for the downside. Read the market. It is bearish. The trends are down on the daily, very bearish on the weekly. It's going to take a miracle to get us not seeing, I won't say a miracle. It's going to take a lot for us not to achieve lower lows on these daily trends. That being said, it's crypto. Crypto will do whatever it wants to do. So that's the list we've got. It's not a huge one, but it is to the right side, which is short, because that's a short for us, meaning that we can hedge our portfolios as well. See, as a trader, you can make money whether the market goes up or down. You just got to time it right. And if you want to learn how to time it better, no better place to go than TRADERCOBB.com. Description will give you the link. There's a free course there, of course. Don't forget, if you have done the course before, it is there. You can log in, ask our team for help if you've forgotten your login details. And finally, well, you should be trading with FTX. Get your account 10% off your trading fees in the link below. Please like, share, subscribe, and share it with your buddies. Have a great day. Let's see how this day evolves and if it evolves. Big sell-offs on Friday. Will we get another one this week? I don't know. Too early to tell. Take care. Have a good one. Bye for now.